Oh, it's green again.
Yeah, it's working.
Hallelujah.
Are we back?
We might be.
Hi, peoples. There was
Yeah, we are back.
there was internet connection trouble.
Yeah.
We're still not sure what happened.
Nope.
But I blame the cat.
Do we? You blame the cat. Okay. Fucking hell! I completely lost. No. Now I remember what we were doing. We were about to revert to a clean state, so we could.
Do you also have this problem often where you're like just going, and I'm like, shit.
Yeah, but
I still need to do 10 more things.
Yeah, not that often. Usually it's when I think, or in my head, I'm like, okay, I can safely make this change, and then suddenly my entire build is failing. It's like, what? What the fuck? And then because you keep on implementing or changing stuff, and your unit tests keep working, but your entire build might be failing, but you don't know. Yeah, so that sucks when that happens. Or might not even be compiling. I've had that happen as well. Like when you've got different modules, and then it just recompiles the module that you're working in, but then the rest is broken. Ugh. Right. So I think what we can do, this change we can revert, because I don't care about that one anymore. So that can go. Then the controller test. We added total score to competitor. Yeah. I'm also gonna revert this. Yeah. Makes sense if you revert the controller that you revert the test. This is just something that I can commit. Then this is saving a competition with. I want to keep this.
Yeah, but you also mentioned the total score here. So.
Yeah, but so total score I can also keep on competitor, because all of this stuff we can
just have. That you reverted will not compile.
So we just have to fix that. And then what we did was we introduced total score to competitor and made sure that it needs to be persisted before you can add it to a competition. So, and then I think that's fine. So now recompile and make sure. Okay, nice. Yeah, I was thinking that too. Total score, I think, is.
So the default.
And now it's fixed everywhere, and then my test should be working. We did lose all of our viewers.
Oh, sorry, viewers.
Yeah, it sucks. Okay, let's rerun this test, and then it should be working. Okay, and now let's rerun the complete build, I guess. Then commit this part, and then push that part, and then refactor the controller to. Again, do not mark something as the challenge is done, but then to add a competitor to a competition. Okay. We make a commit. Competitor with total score should be persisted. Can be added to competition. Even though we didn't do the controller yet. Is that okay, this message? Okay. Then I'll push this. Join. Opa. All right, and then we'll. So these need to be refactored. Huh? So because,
Okay,
huh?
Yeah.
No, what does it look? So the annoying. So this is really annoying because what I really wanted to do was write this, but you can't because that's too bad. Huh? And there's no way if you try to escape it, it doesn't work either. Backslash doesn't work either. I don't know why that is. Also illegal characters. I could do this. At least then there's like then spaces. Yeah. Indeed.
You know that it's one. Yeah. Oh yeah, for all of them.
Yeah. So it should be bleu, bleu. And then, yeah, no idea. Competition name. And then this is fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Is not fine. So this is add challenges. Fix that, fix this too. Comp ID. And then this is the complete challenge crap.
Yeah, so it's into.
Yeah, and these as well. Well, actually, yeah, we need to rename these. And then, because I think I still want this behavior for my for completing a challenge. I'm not really sure. I don't know what to think about it actually. Yeah, right.
Yes. But are we now doing the? Like we are refactoring, right?
Yeah.
So this we've identified that this is actually
not completing, but
challenges.
Yeah.
So why shouldn't you just read needs and then copy paste later with needs?
Yeah.
But only one copy paste. So
no, if
for refactor later then.
Yeah, the thing is, I believe, and it might not be true, but I believe that those tests that I wrote when I was thinking about how to complete challenges, just even the titles, they might still be true even after we are able to add a competitor to a competition. So I kind of wanted to do this.
Okay, so
at least this.
Yeah, it's definitely.
And then just keep them here or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I also see like when you look at the test names, there's definitely some that are and need to be renamed or are not the same. Like, so then, if I'm correct, we're going to rename post API completion company complete challenge IDs should be it's going to be
yeah. So now I did it then. So that's basically the only thing I wanted to do.
Okay.
And then wait, because I want to do is this is also sort of like a tiny rename.
Okay, sure.
Added the scores instead of spaces to represent /. Huh? this is no longer the REST API I want to check. So this should be add competitor. And same for this one. Given competitor then. Do competitions competitors?
Like, and the previous. That's the point, right? It's what you do.
Yeah, this is the happy path, and then
Previous one is.
This one.
Yeah, there's something it mentions.
It's not. Yeah, indeed, you're right. Here we missed the. Because that's also the same thing, see?
Yeah.
So this test is invalid. And then this test is the one that we should actually check. Now we'll need to refactor, get rid of this because that's no longer the API. And it should be add competitor. It no longer It no longer takes the challenge ID. And then we are still adding a competitor, so that's good. And then we did set up a challenge, but we don't care about that fact. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So if I were to run this now, it should fail because there's actually
because the URL isn't.
Yeah, it's unable to be mapped.
Yeah, it's not.
But we can fix that immediately, so it should fail. Oh yeah, for the right reasons. Add competitor, cat competitor. The door can disappear. Okay. And then this grab can go. There we go. And then we'll rerun this, and then I think it might even work. Oh boy! Comment. Fact implementing adding competitor to the competition. Right? That's what this thing is about. Yeah. Yo-yo. Now we need to verify that the repository is being called so that our competitors actually get persisted. Because this doesn't work in real life.
That was the point.
Yeah. But I don't have a test that fails now.
Yeah.
And I don't like that.
Okay.
I could write a scenario test for that. But if I try to do this, then the test fails. I had the same issue with challenges. I remember this, but I forgot what I did.
Yeah, but it makes sense, right? Well. So this test, that is basically the controller layer, right? The testing here.
But the controller layer is
But you
at
would
the same time my service layer.
Yeah, but you would indeed expect. Well, it doesn't really matter which kind of flavor it is. You expect indeed that there is, as an effect of this test that you mentioned, some kind of side effect happening in
Mm-hmm.
other components,
Mm-hmm.
which would be your repository.
Mm-hmm.
So that does make sense. So either you can drive it that way, but then it's still weird if you don't have a failing
Mm-hmm.
overarching test.
Yeah. Yeah, I could make. Yeah, I agree.
Or you create a test on a different level.
We could create it in this level even, just like. But then again, my test is coupled very tightly to my implementation. That's what I did here apparently, because here I say I sort of verify that whatever challenges get passed to this API, that they get persisted, and then that it's those persisted challenges that get added to the Thundercats competition. And then I verify that I save that actual Thundercats competition.
It more seems like the level of this dot save methods and things like that. It almost like when you tend to do in my experience this kind of mocking style
Mm-hmm.
tests,
Mm-hmm.
that it tends to highlight things where your APIs aren't, like, how do I say, like you tend to go to a design where you're very much handing over things, right? Where you're very much tell, don't ask,
Yeah.
because it just matches way better with mock design.
Mm-hmm.
And this kind of design, like, so you start off with like saying, okay, so I need a save method on my repository, which is actually, it's not a tell, don't ask method, right? It both does something and then it returns something, and that tends to clash very hard with
Yeah.
mocking.
Yeah. But where are you going with this? Like, because and I'm starting to hate this kind of tests.
Yeah,
I really do. Like, they make maintenance more annoying, but they also run way more slowly than these run. I think. Not really sure about that even so. But you can't really test bite-sized stuff with like higher level controller tests. So you can't really drive your implementation of your controller method that way. But oh, that's difficult, huh? Maybe.
What I'm wondering if this is saying that the typical way that we see repositories, uh, like the dot save methods, if that's a weird thing or not. I may be saying something like that. I'm not sure. But I don't think it's true. So you say here we should add challenges to the given competition.
Yeah, I was also worried that because the
cats.
Shit.
So you pass in a set of challenges by what?
I think it's just gonna be by ID probably.
Okay, so this is kind
No,
of
not
set
even.
up.
Hang on, huh? Given challenges, right? So both of these challenges get passed as JSON to this REST API, and then at some point, what is it? Yeah, they get persisted,
Yeah.
and then I say, well, persisted challenge. They should be copied basically. This is also tightly coupled.
Mm.
And then I verify that the Thundercats competition that I queried now has those persistent challenges, so the copied challenges basically.
Mm.
And then I save that one.
So if you had to go, if you like this test does require a lot from the implementation, right?
Yeah,
It's
like everything. No?
I'm not sure how to improve on that.
Yeah, you throw this away and you write. If you would write just a fully integration test, then the only thing you're left over with is the so
because it's also
this
like
goes.
you also go like,
this
well, I
goes.
have objects over here, and I interact with this object here, and I'm like, it's very.
Yeah, I was just thinking, letting my mind wander a little bit, and then
all your assertions. No, it's not entirely not all your assertions, but most of your assertions are not on your controller, right?
Yeah. In this example.
Yeah.
And then that's when what I started to notice is that those edge cases, like returning something breaks and then your 404 gets returned or whatever, whenever something happens, then it should return that. That's actually also already covered with the exception handler. But then I need to specifically throw that exception though, otherwise it won't work. So I think in that case, so non-edge cases, non-heavy path cases, unit tests do make sense because it happens so early, and so this can be tightly coupled in my book, I think. But then for these kind of things, I think it's just also it has something to do with the nature of my controllers. They do a bunch of stuff because I don't have any service layer. Otherwise, the unit test would be verify that this service is called. Done.
Yeah, and that's exactly the design that such a mocking design should go to. Right?
Yeah.
Well,
would go to. Yeah. But so yeah, that's I think a good insight. I'm gonna write it down.
But like, what is the well, let's first write down your thoughts.
We're the 19th already. That means I didn't log anything last week. Controller mock tests. Insights. One insight is my controllers are acting as a service layer, and I am feeling the pain of of using mocks. Because my tests are tightly coupled with my implementation. It might be better to only test erroneous cases like 404s and such, and write actual behavior.
Yeah, it would definitely be easier. It would be better because it's a bit more.
Why wouldn't it be better? There's less
Yeah,
less maintenance. Huh?
yeah, definitely. I wonder if it's weird that you have for. I mean, for the perspective of your coach, there's no difference between um, like the happy thoughts and the error behavior, right? The 404s.
Yeah, you mean
Right.
I could write integration tests to test the 404s.
You could, but I get that it might make more sense to put as a unit test because I mean there's a lot of setup and a lot of
Yeah.
it takes a lot of time to
Yeah.
run integration tests.
Yeah.
That go wrong in a billion ways.
Yeah.
But then it's like if I come back to it or like if I just discover the code base, like I'm always in this frame of mind of someone who doesn't know anything about the code base, which is me in a day.
Yeah.
Coming back to the code base, like well, so where is I have this controllers and where are the tests? Oh well, the positive cases are in the integration tests and the other cases are in unit tests and someone who doesn't know anything about this code base might find it very hard to,
Yeah.
to know why
Yeah.
to modify it.
But this is the reason of existence of these. That's it, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I actually I did duplicate the test behavior then, or the implementation behavior that I wanted to. Wait, that's not a sentence. I did test the behavior of adding a challenge or adding challenges to a competition, both in an integration test and in a unit test. This is the integration test.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is way shorter, isn't
Yeah, definitely.
it? But
But,
you also
yeah.
mentioned it should get
Maar, allee.
copied, but how do you know or what does it mean in this context? Does it mean anything? So does it?
Yeah, it does. First, I check that the challenges. So I really cursed against JSON path. By the way, it's really horrible. I really hate it. I really hate it a lot.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
Yeah, I don't recommend you do.
I know that we use a plot-like expression for testing our MVC, but I'm sure it's just.
I forget also why I did it. Maybe it's in the log, but what I'm checking here is that the challenges are not empty, so that there must be challenges. And I also check this one not has item in array.
Is English much?
Yeah, fucking hell. I even completely forget why. So it was like something like
NID should be different from the create challenge. Yeah, okay, yeah, so that makes sense actually. You
fuck it.
the new ID is different.
I read
So
over the comment. Can you believe that? Holy shit! No. I hate
Expect
that.
the result matchup.json path not has item in array create challenge. Okay, it's a little bit obscure.
It's horrible. It's really horrible. But it took me so long to fix it. But I also forget why I couldn't use to JSON. There was a thing that kept me from, because my preference would be just capture the result, transform it from JSON into an actual object, and then just assert that object. Done. It's way more explicit, but I couldn't for some reason. I forget why it was.
Okay, whatever.
The scallop guy. Oh, Jason Ignore broke the app now. Search music with the sad face. Oh, Yeah. Sort of lost track of what we were doing,
Yeah.
Vincent.
You're writing down.
No, this.
Yeah, I interpret with
This I
various
think is
cases.
this I think is fine. Should be fine. Should we be fine? Yeah. Logged about controller purpose and mock tests. But we were looking at that controller test. Huh? Yeah. And what we were doing is saying, well, now we need this kind of
Yes.
unit test stuff for our
Yeah.
adding a competitor.
Yeah. It's like, well, but should we actually?
Yeah. The other thing is, and I just came to think of that, is in the scenario test. It definitely is shorter, but it's also a little bit hidden because this is what creating a new challenge looks like. It's also posting to an API that we don't have. We don't have something to add a competitor yet. So we couldn't make use of that even. So what we would do here is. Yeah.
Why do we not have?
So in the thing, let's say, okay, maybe we write an integration test to add a competitor to a competition, but we don't have a way of creating a competitor and persisting it before we add it to a competition. I mean, we don't even have a repository for that. And this tests entry points are always and only REST API calls. So we couldn't even start writing an integration test for the thing we want to test now.
Is that so?
Yeah.
Can't you just
We could introduce repositories here, right?
No, but it's like you write integration test here, and then like you know, I mean that's the kind of magic step that you need to start with your controller. Yeah, but then indeed there's no way that if you don't write the tests on controller level, you're never gonna get to the repository level.
Yeah.
So you could skip the test, so you could just write a code, and then until this test is green, and then add test where you like it.
Yeah. Or what I could do is continue with this style for my competitors. But yeah, we still need a competitor repository then. In any case. Oh.
You would want it, right? You would need it.
Yeah. I'm stuck. An analysis paralysis. I can't choose.
Just create a repository.
Yeah, that's already a good idea, I guess. Yeah, maybe that will get me unstuck. Huh? What to put here? Let's not make the Java class. Huh? Competitor. Maybe like this.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, and it should be integration test probably. And now I need to auto wire and then that's that crap with the
entity manager
late in that fair for because
yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, it gets injected. So this thing doesn't exist yet. Huh?
Mm.
And I think I do not. Maybe I should. I was gonna say I think I might have like abstract tests that have these annotations, but I don't. But yeah, who cares? Create separate file police. This is the correct package, but please put it in main. There we go. Now I don't think it's a class even. It's just an interface that extends JPA repository. Hello. Yeah, you don't write extends. And T would be a competitor. This, and it's a UID. And then that's it. I think. Yeah, mooi. And then we make test function. Can be persisted. I hate this crap. What do I want to test?
What do you want to test? Like what kind of behavior do you want? Nothing. You just want to persist it and just leave it. These are new interface fields.
Yeah. Like like sometimes you change stuff to your Hibernate entity and then it won't be able to be persisted anymore, and I'd rather learn earlier than later. But it's not that I'm used to running competitor repository integration tests whenever I change something to my competitor, for example. So I'm gonna learn late anyway, and the way I am going to learn is because there is somewhere an integration test that tries to load Hibernate entities or whatever, and then it explodes. Which we've seen the moment we started streaming.
But one interesting thing could be though that once you have it breaks, at least you have this test case that minimally reproduces that.
Exactly. Let's try to do that. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. Name Snarf.
That's of course those meetings.
Yeah, albeit just a little bit. Save. Yeah. Yeah, and I needed the test entity manager thing, right? To verify outside of repositories that whatever I persisted is actually there. This is snarf save and then check with the test. No, wait. We do a flush and a clear, I think. Because we don't want to tap into the cache. And I want to find indeed a competitor class with ID this one. And it should not be null, and that's fine by me, I guess. What are your thoughts on that?
Sure. Equals half. Is that not what we want?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, it should definitely be equal. Hmm. Because it's a data class. And only because it's a data class.
Yes.
Huh?
Because it's equal by fields.
Yeah. But like if it stops being a data class, then this is gonna fail. Or it should fail.
That depends on your implementation of equals.
Yeah. That's the save thing. I mean, is that enough? The find by ID, I'm not gonna test, huh?
Mm.
Maybe this should be a competitor can be persisted or something. Something like that. There we go. Let's commit that stuff. Added or introduced competitor repository. Opa. Let's push it. Yeah, I'm just gonna check. Yeah, it's green now. Nice. Can you just go like this and then it shows me the latest result? Yeah. This is great because this icon actually changes depending on the. It's so fucking cool. Nope. I want this to be here. Okay. Okay. So we've got a competitor repository now. Water. Where do we want to go next? Back to the competitor controller thing. Yes, still same issue, eh?
Of course.
I am inclined to do this, honestly. Yeah.
Switch.
I don't need the copying, so but no, okay, let's just write them.
So what do we have now? You have the. Should you just expect the save then? Or is there happening more?
The verify.
Verify.
Yeah. This should also remain true.
Yeah. But next to that.
Verify the competition repository mock. Save with Thundercats gold. This is gonna make sure that whatever competitor I just added is persistent. I mean, the link is persistent. If you don't do this, then yeah. You need to manually do that.
That next to saving the entity, right?
Yeah, and then that's where competitor repository mock comes in, and here we want snarf to be saved, right? How we called it that. It is a competitor repository. Ah, okay. And then probably in order or what?
Seriously.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because if you do it in the other way, if you do it like this, then you won't have. Then you'll get an exception.
Okay. So then your test also will fail.
Nee.
Oh, no, it won't.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Nee? Fuck my life. How did you do that again? Do you know?
With backticks or
No, like in order verification. Fucking hell.
this.
Piece of shit. Oops. And then you assign this. Huh?
It's been a while.
And then you go like this. Yeah,
So you need to pass them box? I suppose so.
yeah, I think so, yeah. I'm not really sure anymore really.
You don't have to. Just use it.
Yeah.
Or maybe because it needs to know that you have verified everything. Okay, that makes sense. Maybe that doesn't make sense. I don't know.
Mocks to be verified in order. Yeah. I don't know.
Whatever.
This is gonna work. I mean, this is gonna fail right now, actually.
As it should.
Hopefully.
It works.
The other thing I'm sort of worried about is that. Yeah, man.
Alright.
What now? Ah, yeah, it's not. What?
Oh, it's continuous.
No such. Yeah, fucking hell. Why is it complaining of this crap?
Why? So we don't have anything.
What's different about these things? Interface.
Correct imports.
It's got something to do with this shit, huh? Like package scanning or something. Yeah, that's right. I need my yeah. Hang on, I'll explain.
What?
I'll explain it. It's okay.
Why are we doing spring?
Let's first make sure that the test fails for the right reason. And then I will explain you all the things. Oh boy. Yeah. Oh. Wanted but not invoked. Save. Great. Okay, so what the fuck did I just do, right?
Yes.
So, you can see I'm auto-wiring a repository. I'm specifically calling it mock so I don't get confused because this is weird. How can you auto-wire something and then get a mock? Right? That's weird. Then why is that weird? Because, for example, this one I don't auto-wire, but I do make it a mock bean. So that means make from this competition creator first create a mock and then also make sure that Spring picks that mock up as something a bean to inject anywhere, and then we use that injection here. And then we've got a controller test, which okay, it has some utility stuff like mock MVC. This works because at web MVC test is being or is an annotation just saying run it using Spring Boot test. Object mapper isn't a real one, the same that gets used when you would run your Spring Boot application. But then this thing comes in play.
Yep.
And we've got a web MVC test configuration. Now please note that the package that my controller test is in BE software sandbox test .fit. Yeah. Then this configuration is also in BE software sandbox test.fit, and it has a configuration, and it says, so this is a configuration class, sorry, and you should do component scanning on this, and then exclude all JPA repositories. I had to do this for a very specific reason, because whatever I tried, component scanning would always be picking up everything in this package. So in BE software sandbox effort, including JPA repositories. I couldn't write anything in my controller tests that actually does this, that does the exclusion of JPA repositories. Now, because I do that, I want all of my idea is I just want to replace all of the JPA repositories with mocks. So I can write controller tests using mocked JPA repositories, and that's the entire purpose of this configuration here. So it was, hang on, because I think if I was a good boy, I should have written about that. Maybe it's here. Spring Boot test requires your test configuration to be in a separate class. Yeah. Ah, yeah. That's a different thing.
There was one.
Auto configuration doesn't. Oh. This is it probably. Ah, yeah. That's it. So this is the other way to write WebMVC tests.
That's all not the correct line.
Yeah, that's so annoying. Yeah.
Let's still try to create beans with repositories. Fail trying to find an entity.
Yeah, so this is the gist of it. I tried using exclude autoconfig, didn't work. Possibly because WebMVC doesn't take that into account or something, I don't know. This is basically the only thing that works now.
Yep. Okay. No.
Yeah. So now I had to add the competitor repository because otherwise this wouldn't be a mock. Okay. So we just made sure that this failed for the right reason, and now we can go back to the actual competition controller to not name this complete challenge anymore, but add the competitor. Huh? Okay, nice. And now we need to implement it. Oh, and we need to probably inject. Oh. That sucks. What the hell was that? Oh,
Otherwise, it will.
that's weird, huh? Oh. Yeah, this is probably because I didn't. I am because it's now scanning the competitor controller repository, and then it breaks.
Right.
Fucking bullshit. Then. Competitor. Yeah. Go. Then we can. This is fine. This is also fine. Actually, no, this is not fine. This should just be competitor repository. Nope. Save competitor. And then competition.
Like, does save give you a difference?
Yeah, in my case it doesn't because I choose to generate my IDs myself. But whenever you rely on, for example, a database sequence, then your ID only gets set after you save your entity.
Yeah, but aren't the objects the same objects?
They're not. Well, that I'm unsure. I know I'm unsure of that. I don't really know. I don't think they. Like it's the same reference. I think. Yeah, I think it's the same reference. Hang on. Let's run this test and watch it work. Right? Should be green now. Now I did write something and then.
It was 500.
Yeah, that's an internal.
Wait, oh boy. Are you sure it returns something?
Now I'm not anymore. No.
It didn't return. Returns a saved entity will never be
I don't mock this. That's why it's. I don't say when competitor repository.save return. So now I'm questioning: is it important that I do that or not? Huh?
Can you show documentation?
Yeah.
I don't know. Should it be documentation? User returned instance referred to place at the server in my
I know that it's a good practice, but
yeah, I think like the Java entity manager stuff, like what is the spec? I don't remember. GPA, of course.
yeah.
I think they say that they modify it in place, but it might be that this makes abstraction from that.
Yeah. But so, okay, and then what do we want?
Well, if your documentation says to,
we want to use it like this,
yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, otherwise, you're gonna have weird things going on.
Yeah.
Eventually, maybe, possibly.
So, and
when you eventually refactor this to be actually Node application running on LLM.
I'm like, so when we save snarf, I'm just gonna return snarf. And then the rest of it should work. It's weird. Well, it doesn't seem to be raining, but
thundering.
Yeah.
It might probably rain every second. Might just start raining.
Yeah. It's green! Oh! Fucking hell, yeah.
It's fun.
This feels like writing enterprise code. So no. Let's commit this,
Yeah.
and then we've got a working REST API to add a competitor to a competition. Fucking
Are
hell.
you sure it's working though?
Well, I'm not, because we don't have an integration test.
That's the total part, right?
Yeah. It certainly is. And it's gonna take a while before we get there, even. Unless we add a button now to add a competitor to a competition, from the UI, then we would be able to test it manually. What do you think?
Yeah, sure. Let's do view. I've never done view in my life.
Okay.
Wait. Oh yeah, because you have the
For a while, at least. Yeah, I have the comments. Yeah. That's a different kind of thundering. Yeah, let's add a view button, I guess, or something. And where in the UI are we gonna add this? Let's maybe show the UI. Oh wait, and then let's maybe, yeah, hopefully. Yeah. Here we go. So refresh this. We're going to need to restart our Spring Boot application in a while. But so, anyway, where do we want to add a competitor to a competition? Maybe we'll just have a screen here or something, like add text fields. Nee? Yeah. Okay. Then we need, so this thing is called the competition overview, if I'm correct. So the way I've divided it up, I'm not sure if that's a good practice or not, but we've got views, and those are basically pages, and pages you can decompose out of components. I don't have many components. I don't really know the reason for that. So competitions overview sounds like no, it's the detail. And the detail consists out of a header and then a challenges table component, and then we'll need to add like add competitor form or whatever, or just an input field is also gonna be fine, I think. Huh? Ooh, actually, we already have a sort of input field for that. Let's start off by just using an input field, okay? Ja, Tim is goed, Tim. Stop maar zagen, Tim. This is creating a challenge. I'm not interested in that. I want a complete challenge, which has a form and a competitor name and then a submit button. So this competitor name, so this is a competitor to add or something, huh? Then we'll need this as a field on my competition detail view or component. We say that it's a string and that it gets initialized with nothing or nothing, but then you have to do this. I think this is going to be better because otherwise, when you press submit, an empty competitor name will be posted. Then maybe submit also is a shitty word because it's more purposeful than this. It should be add competitor or something. Voila. If we save this, then we should Zucht. Then it should spout a bunch of lint errors. So let's fix those as well. Which things is 49? Oh, yeah. Yeah, but then why is it? Yeah. Because I was already thinking of the API when I was writing that. And I am going to fix lint errors. And then the other thing I don't want to commit just yet. That's here. Okay. Oh, and there's already the competitor name. And then we can say, no wait, that's another wrong screen. Okay. And yeah, I submitted the thing, but then I didn't have a submit prevent thing, so it refreshed the page.
Okay, that's a view thing.
Yeah, it's also an Angular thing, I guess, where you need to, if you put this in a form,
submit just like submits to the current URL, I suppose, or
yeah, it performs a post to the current URL. I don't know what the default behavior is of form submit actually. We could also not make it a form, of course, and then
form makes sense.
Yeah.
We spent ages on accessibility on our website, so form makes sense.
Yeah. And why? Because of accessibility then. Okay. But then, yeah, I need to register a click handler now for the submit. So this is add competitor. And that's gonna become a function. Which is gonna do a post. So a post to competition / add competitor.
T634.
Yeah.
We had 3 views.
Yeah, but it's still green though, okay. So it might still be working. Nope, it's down.
We had 3 viewers.
We did, son. We did.
Damn it.
Oh, or we are alive. We're alive again. Yay.
Okay, are we gone for long? You have no idea.
I think we're blaming the thunderstorms for this, right?
Yeah. And the Thundercat storms.
Yeah, Thundercat storms. Nice.
I'm going to refresh this thing. Oh, wait. Yeah, okay, network is completely down. Let's hope that yours still keeps working.
It's weird that it's still green though.
There was a hiccup with the cats.
Anyway, add competitor. Yeah.
So the alternative that you were saying a minute back, like let's not make it a form. Like, it's not going to be way shorter than this, right? It's just going to be.
Yeah, you don't need to do this crap.
But you're still going to need to call your at competitor
Yeah.
function.
Yeah, that's true.
On your text fields and something. Or on your symbol. On your button.
Yeah, so in my
Just do it like this.
button, it's gonna be, and now I need to cheat a little bit because it will explode. It will explode. Fuck my life.
Why would it?
Yeah.
Why would it explode?
So I am about to post a JSON object to that URL. And I know what it should look like, the JSON object. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
It should have a name property, which is bound, which should be filled in with this .competitor name. This means that whenever I post this type of object to that URL, I am entering my my controller and Jackson is gonna try and create a competitor from that JSON object, which only has a name, whereas
Perfect.
and just this if we do this, then we're unfucked.
Okay.
Huh?
That's
True, eh?
maybe. I
Yeah.
suppose.
Yeah, I think that's the same. But only when we do it like this. I want to first make.
Seems like
I want to validate my assumption. Yeah.
or alternatively, you pass the entire object here. You don't want to do that. Wait, so this is at competitor.
Yeah, we don't have any competitor yet.
So would it be weird to just say, well, we also give him a score? Total score is equal.
Yeah, I don't like it. Yeah, I only want to pass along a name, honestly.
All prevented is if we not keep score the competitors.
Yeah, in that case, we would have a list of challenges that.
To keep that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's a difference between the command of creating a competitor and the actual state of a competitor. But it's not weird that there's a difference between those two things, right?
And this is another thing I need to do.
I mean, it's just crud is a lie. It's always a lie.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that statement, but I'm trying really hard to disprove that to myself.
Well, it's just crud. Can't coexist with the statements. I don't want to enter the score on this side.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, by definition, it's one.
Yeah.
Either you manage those two.
No, you're completely right.
So that's where
then it's no longer crud, and then I failed myself.
Or you can just add the score here. Then you have not failed yourself.
Yeah, I failed myself already in the rest of the application. Huh?
I don't know, maybe.
God damn it.
I mean, there is a certain leeway, right?
Yeah, but the leeway right now is to add this, and then I'm pretty sure it will be fixed if I do that.
Yeah.
That's what I've been doing,
but it's
the entire time.
Yeah, but it's like you say, like, this is indeed a leeway, and at some point, yeah, this is not. Like, this is not a design, right? This is that sounds horrible, but
The annoying thing is that this works. Shit. Oh my god, hier moet ik eigenlijk doen.
There's something about it. The links.
No, the auto gen. So yeah, so either the lint or IntelliJ.
Yeah.
Because it will generate.
We've fixed that problem by just throwing away the thing.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Invalid handler for event click got undefined.
No, undefined is not a function.
That's because I should type a submit. There's still some errors, apparently. Ah, yeah, here we go again.
Is that because of the exclamation mark?
Well, it might be. So you can fix this by
It's undefined.
no, because that'll be the same, but
It's no.
so Vue is complaining that I'm using this property both for a representation thing and a modification thing, and what you typically do, like it's
add it to the store.
Yeah. If I would use Vuex for everything, but I don't. I only use it to display toast messages. That's it. The notifications. That's what I use Vuex for. But same or by initializing the property, and then there's like a link with that stuff. And maybe I should need to. I do need to initialize it. But then how do I deal with the if you submit with nothing, then
Let's find out.
yeah. Test. 404 not found.
No message available. When did we last restart the backend? Or is that something?
No. Nice. That's the fix indeed. So if we were to restart it right now, or I'm just gonna do it, and then we'll get flyway exceptions.
Yep.
And then flyway exceptions we fix.
Yep, flyway didn't migrate.
We fix doing this. Goodbye. And then now they're fixed. Yeah, Ale, I don't care about that stuff.
I just done to like Docker remove container.
Holy fuck. That's a lot of work. Ale, it takes a little
it's
longer.
in my command history.
So we don't.
This is really smart.
Oh, we don't have Vincent's competition now, so I wonder what happens. Very interesting. This is definitely a bug, eh? Ale, this is definitely a bug.
I'm in hard disagreement with my products people. Were like, well, when I enter this URL, it gives like weird errors. I'm like, well,
don't enter
don't,
this.
yeah, it's undiscoverable.
Yeah, but
like when I manipulate this and I put in an ID that does not exist, then it doesn't give a proper message. I'm like, what do people who manipulate IDs in the URL expect actually?
Yeah, but like in this case, it's a real thing.
Is it?
Yeah, because
like when I dump my database and I refresh it.
Yeah, like the thing is, if you, for example, the idea about these URLs is that they are shareable. So if you paste it and you make a typo or whatever, or you just manually type it over, then people shouldn't get this as a result. This is horrible.
Yeah, that might be fair arguments.
But for other
Disagreements.
but for other stuff, like I would tend to agree with you. So what is this? Navigating to an existing competition URL.
Existing is not a word, right? But what is the proper word?
Not existing.
Non-existing.
Non-existing. I liked unexisting.
Yeah.
Navigating to a non-existing competition URL should definitely not show default competition.
Give clear error or something.
But clear error page. Submit new issue. I remembered to select the project, and I also remembered to add a bug label. It doesn't need a description, I don't think.
Like templates for issues.
Is that a thing?
I think so.
Oh yeah.
You can automatically.
Oof, that's advanced. Get the project stuff. No, we
It
did.
might just be for description. I'm not sure, but I think that's.
I see. Okay.
Okay. Cool.
So we've got the competitions. Yeah. Okay.
More snarfs in there.
More snarfs. Then a competitor to add would be snarf. And now let's see what's going to happen. No network error, but also no message.
Cool.
But yeah, we also didn't add a message anyway, so.
What happens if you?
We can check the database. Yeah. So there is an ID. It starts with 6 blah blah blah, and then yeah. Sweet. Oh, wait. We didn't. I was expecting it to fail. Remember?
Ah. No, we forget about that.
What in the actual fuck? Is that just because int is always
as a default
0 or something? Yeah, I don't know.
It's not like it's completely no subjects in this.
That's fucking weird. Yeah, maybe Jackson will initialize it with 0 because it's an int. It sort of makes sense.
Like that should probably be negotiated with like strict properties or things like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you set up it's all the default stuff or.
Yeah, I didn't touch it.
So the thing that
you mean the object mapper, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, didn't touch it.
There's, by the way, the entire the reasoning of I wanted to fail is still a bit of a because I can if it would fail.
Yeah.
The reason why you say that is because I don't want. I only want to give the name as property, right?
Huh?
So from the front end, I pass.
Yeah, I only want a name.
Yeah. Why would you do that? Why would you want only the name?
Because we are creating a competitor and adding it to the competition. Huh? So the only thing you need there is a name. I don't. So within that context,
that's perfectly fine.
Yeah. Yeah. So the only thing that is, I expected it to fail, but it didn't. But I'm happy that it didn't. Yeah.
Because one thing that you might consider is not in this application, but in other contexts, maybe is like this cheating thing.
Cheating.
If I pass in with a total score of
10 right. Yeah. You started with an early advantage.
Yeah, with like 1 e5.
Try to catch up, suckers.
You can still do that right now, right? You could still do that even if it would crash. Because you can it will still text will just deserialize it.
Yeah, fucking hell, you're right.
But if it's not, it's probably not even the concern. It depends on your risk assessments.
Yeah, the application is gonna be made for me and my friends to go on the next snow case competition.
I mean, I would add a challenge like break the application, but maybe we shouldn't because it will be too easy.
Nice, that's great. Page. Whoa.
Break the application and send in decently formatted bug report. For bonus points.
A reproducible. Yeah.
Please include your Docker containers.
Okay. I'm not sure about you, but I feel like we made some good progress, and I sort of want to stop where we are now because it feels like a natural end somehow. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is it fine with you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Half an hour ago, energy was dropping.
Yeah.
Now it's getting back again.
I had the same problem. That's interesting because now that you say that, I've noticed myself experiencing this drop in all of my previous streams, all of them. So maybe.
And when after a
time? Or? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
We could go back and then check what it would be interesting.
I think for me it was like when we were doing the bullshit MVC stuff.
Yeah. It takes. It's just stuff you don't want to fucking deal with, right?
Yeah.
I agree with that. Yeah. Anyway, and then maybe let's just call it a day. Maybe some feedback. Like, what did you think of this experience?
Maybe I have a few questions. Like, do you feel that Kotlin is adding a lot here? We get to the experience later.
I like this part, this stuff. I really love. I also love the data classes. So I'm not really fully using Kotlin. I agree with that. But the way I think about it is just this is like my intro into using Kotlin as a Java replacement more than properly doing Kotlin. So I'm happy with this already because it deals with nulls. That's like my main complaint with Java.
I would like to maybe for these kind of things. This is like a weird. It feels to me like a weird straddling between all the Java Enterprise stuff. Well, Spring. Spring. I mean,
call it Enterprise.
And then all the boilerplate that comes with that.
Mm-hmm.
Might be interesting. I don't know where you want to go with this. To look into more Kotlin native, the Ktor.
Ktor. I know about all that stuff, and it does look interesting. It's also because people on the stream or Levi, like one of my colleagues, is asked me also like, what do you think about this stuff? And I don't know it. Let's look it up. So it's gonna be interesting.
But it's still like the fun thing about Kotlin is that you can also mix it with existing Java code. I'm not sure if seeing this for me is not enough to justify. Maybe if we had more experienced more like null safety things. But we were mostly struggling with Spring, not with.
Not with Yeah, I also think
I don't know if you had any experience like that happened more.
At the start. And at the start, definitely, But also, it's just whenever you're working with your domain. So whenever you're properly modeling, it helps you so much. It's insane.
But it's CRUD, so.
Exactly. Completely right. Yeah.
Okay. And Vue, we didn't do a lot of Vue, but is it?
Yeah, I like Vue a lot. As you saw, the messages when shit goes wrong is pretty helpful. Maybe try initializing it. Ah, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Then the
Angular,
rest.
with Angular, I mostly experienced like compiler crashes.
Yeah, I go find out whatever might have. The complaint or like something I've noticed when doing this, and also on the project I'm currently on, is we chose to use TypeScript with Vue, and it doesn't seem to be like a very good match. Like if you try writing unit tests for your Vue components, then suddenly you don't have a property, even though you say like instantiate this specific component. So you say like new competitor detail or whatever, and then you assign it to a variable, and then you try to access like a private member or like a member of that component, then your TypeScript will bork and you're like, oh, what's this property you're trying to get? It doesn't exist. I'm like, wait, what? And then it's because it resorts to the main view type and not your specific type somehow. Like stuff like that is really silly. But yeah, I think Vue is a little bit more opinionated, I think, than React, and maybe also more opinionated than Angular, because I mean Angular is also opinionated, but it suggests here's 20 different solutions, just pick one, and all of those solutions are opinionated, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But then Vue is like here's 3 or something instead of. For example, in Angular, you've got like 3 different ways to do form processing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's fucking insane, eh? Yeah. And yeah, I like the simplicity of Vue as well. Pretty cool. But I still prefer Elm. But then my colleagues don't prefer Elm, so yeah.
So you find new colleagues.
Ja, echt hè. Nee.
Hey, colleagues of Tim.
No, but like the step towards Elm is too huge usually, and people just are scared. And then also the fact that Elm is not really that supported anymore. I mean, not that much. If
Not
you
in development, it's not
Yeah.
anything.
And there's like one guy doing support, and yeah, maybe I should check out Reason ML or something instead. It looks almost exactly the same. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Right.
And then so experience.
Let me think.
Is it-
I don't know. It was fun to just like code again.
Yeah, yeah. Well, like why?
Definitely.
How come you're not coding anymore then? Or
No, I am. But we don't do a lot of pair programming.
yeah.
And like there was a huge period where we did we created our websites. Huge periods of TypeScript, Angular stuff, and then afterwards, I'm not sure. There was a few months where I was I was doing a lot of AWS things.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
the ops part.
Yeah, like we had one of the things that we did was a database. So we have different environments, databases in each environment, and then like the entire thing of okay, let's take our production database and copy it over. With anonymization and everything.
That's a lot of work.
But then we have different accounts for different environments, and then different encryption keys and all the AWS stuff, and then integrate with RDS. So it was like export from RDS to S3 and then copy S3 buckets, and then
Jesus.
well, it was cool. But because the database is big, all these things take a lot of time. So that was like, I think I worked for a month on that, just because we didn't have proper test equipment.
Yeah. Okay.
And there were other various challenges, by the way.
But so you enjoyed doing this again, then, like pair programming? And
Yeah, definitely.
that's good.
Yeah.
And what about, like, we didn't have a lot of viewer interaction. Usually there's like Jeff in the chat, and he's like, oh, what are you doing, Vue? Yeah.
Well, yeah. Once you just when you're with two, it's still like you just pair programming.
Yeah.
Still, it's still fun.
Yeah.
It's a bit annoying that the internet dropped like 2 or 3 times.
LA shit happens. I really blame the cat and the thunderstorms. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like once you're pair programming, you're just
thinking
so
about
different, right? So.
Yeah, I agree. All right, cool. All right, then I suggest that we'll end the stream here, and maybe let's check what I should be doing next time, because I don't think
those things.
Yeah, but this is not up to date anymore, right? Because call REST API to complete the challenge and submit. Well, now we first need to be able to add competitors to a competition, I think, before this is even, or this can even be a thing. Huh?
But that we mostly have now, right?
Yeah. You can add one competitor to a competition. Yeah, it's true. And also, there's nowhere to list the competitors of a competition. And then this part you can't select.
Another thing is like when you say this is just like all of these things are like very basic things, right? And it annoys me that all of this takes so long. Like as an industry, I think we have better tools. I just don't know them either, because we tend to work with.
Do you know that we have better tools, or do you think that we?
I hope I will take like that, but I think that what you call CRUDs, and what I think is closely related to RESTful design, and I think that there would be like scaffolding tools, or I don't know what.
I think of Grails and stuff.
That should be able to generate like 90% of this stuff.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, like I think isn't like if you do this stuff with GraphQL,
you start. For example, you start with drilling down these details, and it all ends up being, well, you have another collection and another set of resources.
Yeah.
So, like, if you go this style, then I would very much hope that it would be way easier than this.
Then that sucks.
Which doesn't mean like all of this is still valuable, right?
Well, I'm not sure, because the idea was to make a CRUD-like thing, so I could eventually prove to myself that I can move from that to like hexagonal, for example, or like
it might still, like, if you go this route, it might be harder to move the other way.
Yeah.
But in a way, like, you're investing now in something that you might not need.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
that's
maybe
true.
the lesson is that, well, if you want to do this, then, well, rewrite anyway. Maybe you can't.
There's also a thing like you just learn about the domain this way.
Yeah, and it should be cheap to learn this way, and not like they have to mock your repositories in the RPC test.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Very good point. Yeah. Fucking hell.
But I would like to, like, when we go to Socrates UK, like, explore that. I would love to.
Yes, that's a good idea.
I will write that down in my Socrates UK notes.
I'm gonna add just a little task to this issue that lists a list competitors competition. do select from or something. And then also provide.
I'm not sure what question actually
Provide what the hell? Also list competitors of the competition in the competition detail.
So so I wrote it down as like a versus, like on the one side quick design, quick crits or restful, and on the other side like the evolvability of application.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you balance those things? It's kind of
Yeah, or maybe if someone could just
do you need to
say,
balance those things?
yeah, or maybe is there a way or an easy way to move from like the CRUD stuff to, or do you always have to throw it away? Huh?
Yeah. One of the things that I would also be interested in exploring is you have this. How hard is it to make this like in maybe not event sourced but event driven way?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because a lot of the things that you're writing are commands and events.
Yes.
It's like, is it really that much harder to start that way?
Yeah. So,
which seems like a way more evolvable.
I agree so much with that statement. You have no idea.
But I don't know if the statement refers more to the validity of event-driven architectures, or of the way that you're thinking about this. And maybe you're bringing that precognition into the, or that's...
No, well, probably, but also I think thinking that way is also more evolvable.
Yeah, maybe.
But the other thing that I always struggle to answer is when you do that, or when you choose to go for event-driven architecture, like a very big constraint is the knowledge of your team about that kind of architecture, or even that way of thinking. But then I also if you ask that question, then you should also ask the question, well, okay, but is doing CRUD then so much simpler than doing event-driven, for example? Because I've noticed in quote-unquote CRUD,
easier but not simpler.
But you make definitely easier, definitely also not simpler then, but also you are way more. It's so easy to make the wrong abstraction, and then to commit to that wrong abstraction.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. Like if you do event-driven architecture, it's so much looser. You can. You know what I mean? And then you can choose on the fly to change your model.
Things like those, to be more concrete, like the total score. You put total score inside of your competitor, which is a design decision. It's not wrong by definition, but it's hard. Like you also put it in all the tests and all the in your design. It might even be end up in your front end, almost, which is like a good way. Like, maybe one of the reasons why you said no, I don't want it in my ads ad competitor. Like I have the feeling that with if you make it more event sourced, maybe you need to move more to event sourcing than event driven there. It's like, well, I want to put it in my competitor. Well, let's put it in. I want to take it out. Well, let's recalculate. It's just a view.
Yeah, indeed.
Like I only need it for this one view. Like why should it be in my entity?
Yeah. God damn it. Yeah, this is not helping me combat my over-engineering.
You should probably pair with someone who's really good at making CRUD applications.
Yeah, I haven't thought about that yet. Yeah, well, yeah.
Do you know anyone?
Not directly, but I can check.
Or pair with, or find more resources. Go harder that way.
Yeah, it's a. The thing I'm not committing to, and which might be a problem, is I'm not doing CRUD to the extreme, and like maybe that is even way more simple because I'm now asking myself questions like, okay, should total score be on competitor, right? Stuff like that. Like if you just see a competitor as this is just a competitor, it's got a name and that's it, and then it's got challenges maybe that it completed. It's just a different
Because
entity and a different
yeah,
relation, and then
because total scores is kind of calculated and managed to
yeah,
use business rules.
yeah,
Right?
yeah, 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 exactly. And same for the competition and the copying of challenges.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, cool. Good talk. Thanks for hanging out, sorry, let me hang out at your place and do
It's not like
this.
I could go anywhere.
Okay. Sweet. So I don't know if you're up to doing this another time, maybe.
Maybe, but there are exams
Okay, yeah, but
soon. But maybe
doesn't need to
eventually,
be now,
yes,
but like
sure.
in the future somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
When you have redesigned this to be either event driven or full records,
I'll come back. Nice. Okay, cool. All right, man. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks to the viewers. We'll say bye.
Yeah.
Bye for now, and I'll see you next week Sunday. That's about it. See ya.